Now, as a trader, in the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. And when you discover things that you didn't realize were so important, it's sometimes very easy to discount it. Meaning that you might think to yourself, well, I feel a little anxious because I have too much on the trade, or I just took a loss and I'm already back in the market. And you feel that discomfort, like something's just not right. A new trader that's rushed to go into trading with real money will look at that and say, well, I don't want to be a wimp. Okay, I don't want to be a softie and feel like I'm getting scared or shook out of the marketplace, because if we were all in the locker room of the arena that is trading and I'm in the boys room and we're all changing and they look at me and they ask me, hey, how'd you do today? Were you nervous? You look nervous. You don't want to show any kinds of signs of weakness. No way, I can't do that. So as a new trader that rushes to put money in before they learned how to trade, before they discovered everything that's holding them back and they don't realize it yet, they'll have these little triggers, these little moments where their subconscious starts talking to them about, hey, look, are you sure you want to be right where you're at right now? Are you sure you want to be doing what you're doing? And in the beginning, you're so, especially for the men, you're so keyed up on trying to be impressive to other people instead of simply relaxing and trying to do this for yourself. There's nothing selfish about that. There's zero selfishness. You absolutely need to be self-centered and self-focused in the beginning as a developing student. That is not something that is unchristian. It's not something that's egotistical or narcissistic. You need to put yourself inside of a fortress of solitude. And that fortress of solitude is both a physical location where when you're trading, you're not inviting other people's opinion. When you're studying, you're not inviting other people's opinion. Whoever you're using as a resource, and I'm assuming because you're listening to me, you're tapping into me as that resource. Don't let other authors, teachers, influencers come in, because I'm going to be very, very disruptive to that. The number one reason why I do that is the number one, draw a crowd. It's like starting a fire. People can't turn away from a fire. They can't turn away from a train wreck or a car accident. You really don't take pleasure in seeing bad things happen to other people, but you just can't help it. You got to look. And I have used those things to garner a crowd. Well, you don't want to do that with your own trading. You don't want to do that with your own development, because what you're going to do is you're going to invite other people's opinion. Where when I market myself for free, never paid for it, I invite the opinions of others. And I make it polarizing because it makes other people talk. And there's no faster viral marketing campaign than you can have is if you can make something divisive. That's why pro wrestling, the scripted stuff, that's why it was so popular for so long. It's all scripted and it's manipulation of the audience. But if I can encourage you as a student to try to remove that stuff from your learning and your studying, to other people that might sound cultish. And I can see that. And I use that. I embrace that. Because that perspective eliminates the ability for outside influences to mess you up, because you have to discover who you are. I've had students come to me, go through all the things that I put them through, and they say, you know what? This doesn't suit me. I don't think I should be a trader. And that's maturity. It doesn't mean that the stuff that they were learning doesn't work. It just means that they weren't trading at all. They just can't do it. And why put themselves through it? So I want to kind of like invite that opportunity for all of you, because trading is absolutely not for everyone. There's going to be some things that you're going to encounter while you're trading, while you're learning to trade. When you lose money, you don't know what that feels like until it happens. And all the coping skills that I'm going to teach at the end of this Twitter space may not be enough to get you through it and past it. You might just say, you know what, this doesn't feel right for me. And if it happens to be you that feels that way, you know what? Put it aside for a little while, maybe 6 months. And if you feel the urge to come back to it, maybe not with me, but someone else teaching, if they can prove that they have something that works and they have other people that have learned what it is they taught and they're proving profitability and consistency, There's nothing wrong with going to someone else that teaches you how to do investing or trading or reading price action or whatever you want to call it. But if you're going to come to me, I encourage rather aggressively that you need to cut all other sources of information off. Because in my group, we're known as very, very confident, pompous, egotistical, narcissistic. These are all descriptive terms because when my students learn what it is that I teach, that part of my persona rubs off on them because they can do things that they see other people incapable of doing. When everybody else is out there trying to talk other individuals down, our community talks each other up. That's important. That's a characteristic that nobody likes to spend too much focus on because it counters most of everything that's going to be negative that you're going to encounter as a student of mine. You're going to feel like, wow, man, this is a cult. I don't want anybody thinking bad about me. You're not going to meet these people. You're not going to have dinner with them. You're not going to invite them over to Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas. You're not going to celebrate the New Year, drinking champagne with them at the turn of the New Year. But you're elevating their sense of worth and impact and influence over you through fear. And what are you fearful of? How other people are going to look at you. How other people are going to be able to judge you on the basis of who you learned from, what you believe and don't believe about a market algorithm. They're all talking points. And every side, in every angle, believes that they are the right side. So how can you imagine the impact of frustrating, conflicting input from other people's opinion in the beginning when you first start learning? It causes paralysis. It causes you to feel like, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my time? My question is did the people you see on YouTube proving that they're being profitable, that the companies that pay them out, that are interviewing them, you think they just gave that money to them for free? I don't have any affiliates with anybody. None. So it serves me and them no direct gain by making it public knowledge that the people that they paid out in their profitable trades are my students. So we have receipts, and there's new individuals coming forward all the time using the same information that you have at your fingertips for free. I have created an environment. You always see these guys advertising. They'll say, this is a no risk opportunity. But act now, because if you don't do it, there's no telling how long I'm going to keep this for free or have this discount or something to that effect. That's pressure sales. You should feel relaxed. I'm not getting paid here. This is why I'm doing this here too, because I'm not monetized on X or Twitter. I don't have any monetization on there at all. Zero. To be honest with you, I don't even know how to do it if I wanted to do it. And I don't want to do it. I could put this in a G-rated narrative on my YouTube channel and collect ad revenue off of that. But I don't want, I want to talk to you like a friend. I want to talk to you through the perspective of a father figure because I'm talking to Caleb. Because I want him to understand that these are going to be huge wrestling matches for him. Just like they're going to be for you. And for some of you, you're going to discover that, wow, I went through that and I thought I was losing my mind. I thought I was just being, incapable of learning. No, it's just very hard to do, folks, because you're wrestling yourself. You're competing with an image of yourself that you're holding on to. And unfortunately, in the beginning, it's a self-defeating image. You're holding on to a weak, closed-minded, narrow-minded, scared little child. And I don't mean that to be condescending. You're trying to protect the inner child of yourself from losing money, from being embarrassed. Oh, these people said that they learned from ICT, they're cultists, they're brainwashed, they're whatever. The list is going on and on, okay? If you're considering all those things as outside influences, all you have to do is test the stuff I'm teaching for free. All you have to do is sign up to a live stream when I'm doing it and listen to me explain what Price is doing. And then you think to yourself, wow, there's something here. Like I can see this guy knows what he's talking about, and the market's behaving as he's describing it. Those are the things you're supposed to be focusing on. The evidence, the proof. Don't let my public antics for my own pleasure, because I love twisting the knife in other people that don't want to believe, or they deep down inside they believe, but they can't compete with us. They can't even compete. It's not even close. But I'm not here to ridicule them. I want them to listen to the same lectures that I'm giving to all of you. And if they can take something away from that that helps them, then that's great. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to kick anybody in the face. I'm not trying to put my boot on their neck, strangle their ability to be profitable or climb up as a pillar in the industry. That's not what I'm doing. If you don't guard your fortress of solitude, that means your physical location where you study. That means your family members can't be in the room with you. If you have children, God bless them, they can't be in the room with you. Your spouse, whether being supportive or not, and chances are they're probably not going to be supportive. They don't believe yet in your future self. The things that you have to go through to refine your future self, that future success that you want to have, but you don't really necessarily believe it yet, you got to be convinced of it. And so many times, individuals in the last, 5 or 10 years, they have this TikTok mentality. It has to be shown to you in 10 seconds, 30 seconds or less, or I ain't interested. And this is the part where if you're not willing to put yourself through what it is I'm describing, or if you look at those videos I have up there, 500 and some videos, and you think, man, I ain't got time for 500 videos. How many football games have you watched since you started watching them? How many basketball games have you watched since you started watching them? Has your attendance in the audience, seeing those games live, has that made any impact on you being able to play football or basketball any better? No. So why are you watching it? Why are you paying all that money to support these people who don't know you? They don't care about you. They simply will never spend time with you. And to get them to stop to get an autograph or a snapshot is asking too much many times. But you're willing to put yourself through all that stuff because it gives you what? A feel-good moment. Wow, this is awesome. Because you idolize these people. You idolize them. You lift them up. They're titans. And men want to be a titan. Don't lie. You're smiling right now because you know damn well that's the truth. You want to be a big shot. You want to be a big wheel. Someone everybody looks up to and says, man, I want to be like him. You have to have that same tenacity and driven passion in why you're trying to learn how to trade and put yourself in a fortress of solitude where you're not inviting other people. Don't let them influence it. And from an intellectual stance, your fortress of solitude is your journal. That's where you go to lick your wounds when you don't do something right. But you don't go there and treat it like it's a house of pain, like it's an abusive relationship. And so many of you have shared some of your journal entries to me while talking about a price action move. And while maybe your technical thing might be there and it may be correct and it just didn't work out for that moment or that time or that instance, the negative annotations, the negative things that are spoken about what you're trying to teach yourself, what do you think is more appropriate for that inner child that's inside you right now that you're nurturing that will be your future self? What's more nurturing? If you're constantly beating that inner child down with negative, not encouragement, but punishment. You should have did this better. I should have learned this by now. This stuff never works. I don't know why I can't get this. This is so stupid. I need something easier. If you spoke to your child that way, do you think that child would grow up feeling good about themselves? Or would they have complexes and probably deep-rooted anger and anxiety. And you wonder why you're feeling those things. Because you're feeding it to yourself every day. You don't even realize it. You have no idea how often you give yourself something toxic and negative. And that's why when you watch something positive, you're like, wow, I really enjoyed that moment. Or if you see someone you haven't seen in a long time, an old friend or loved one, that's why holidays, except for Carl, gets invited to the festivities. He wasn't supposed to be there, but some joker invited him. It's bad enough you got to work with him all the time, but now he's showing up at New Year's Eve. It was fun until he showed up. Then you're doing everything you can to avoid him. Well, at the holidays, you feel good. Why? Because your attention's taken off of all the negative things about yourself, and then what do? Yeah, well, I got a raise today. Yeah, last week got a promotion at the job. That's right. I don't know how they're going to do it without me. Whenever I decide to leave the company, oh, they're so screwed. You get to talk about all the good stuff, and you hide all that stuff. That's exactly what proper journaling is. You need to do that. You need to cultivate all the positives. And that's why it feels good to be around your cousin who hasn't left Jiffy Lube. He's been doing that for 12 years. Says he's going to college and never even done prerequisites. Never did anything but get greased. You have to guard yourself. And the processes you're going to go through is a refinement. And it's painful because it's not immediate gratification. It's not a right now delivery of what you want. It has to be deferred. And for a lot of folks, and it's really hard for young people today. And I understand because they have been socially engineered to expect everything given to them. Everything should be given to you for nothing and no adversity. It should be easy. And you have this entitlement mindset and a short attention span that's been cultivated by TikTok or YouTube shorts that are very small in duration. And you think, man, why is this guy ICT got to be so long-winded? Because I am an old man that learned how to do this the right way. Roll your sleeves up, put real effort behind it, keep your nose to the grind, and want all the details. You want to know everything. You don't just want to know, well, I want to look like I know what I'm talking about. I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. And for years, we've watched other people do that with my content. Mitigation here. Here, you see this order block was mitigated. Order blocks don't get mitigated. Mitigation this and mitigation that. They want to talk the lingo. The point of interest. Look at this point of interest. These are all out of my videos, bro. That's all my stuff. The vocabulary of all these individuals out there that have odds against me are going to have odds against you. But they're studying right along with you, like good little scribes. They're just doing it in silence, thinking they're going to get away with it. But as soon as they start talking, the vocabulary exposes them. It's fun, actually. It's a really amazing psychological experiment to go through all of the mentors, and you'll see it annotated in their charts, or you'll hear them say it verbally, audibly. They're in the same classroom as you right now. And they may not be here where you can see them because you can do a little anonymous slide. They're all listening anonymously. But I know you're here. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm not trying to poke fun at you. Because you're going to learn things that you can teach my students through you, because they're not your students, they're mine. And I care about them more than you do. And since I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to use you as a conduit to reach them. The worst thing you can do is twist what I'm teaching today, or anything that I teach, and take it out of context or try to embellish it with your own little bullshit. Because you're reducing its purest form, and you're muddying up. This DNA in trading logic is superior. Anything less than this is substandard. We don't have Neanderthal in this, okay? It's all, it's always important to start off on the right foot. It's always a bad decision to invite other people's opinion about everything you're involving yourself with in the beginning. We want our friends and our family to encourage us. Why? The same reason why I did as a 20-year-old. I lost my grandfather. I lost that father figure. He wouldn't have lavished me, would say, oh, son, you're going to do so good. I can't wait to see it. He wouldn't have done that. He's an old man, old Navy man. He would have been like, just do your best. I said, okay, well, I'm going to live up to that. I'm going to live up to that, Pop. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do everything I can to make this man acknowledge that I have impressed him. So when it was taken from me when he died of cancer, I had a void. And I've carried it in my entire life. At 52 years old, I still can't fill that void. And God fills it a lot. But there's still this little itch that I can't satisfy because I can't see his face. Look at me. And you have that same experience when you first start to do something that's monumental. Feet. You want to accomplish something. You want to lose weight. You want to get in better shape. And what do? We turn to our spouse, our significant other, our friends, and our family members. Yeah, I think I'm going to start this program. Oh, you don't bother, man. Don't waste your time. That's the first thing that's coming out of their mouth. And if they're not spurting it out, they're thinking it. You can watch it on their face. They're thinking, yeah, we'll see. we're going to see, buddy. We're going to see. But that's not what you want. You don't want that. You want them to say, you know what? That is awesome. You know what? Could you tell me a little bit about that? Because I would like to do that too. That's the response you're looking for. That's the response. You want people to get excited about what you're interested in, but you're not excited about, but you absolutely fucking gotta be excited. Like you gotta love it. You gotta look at yourself and say, you know what? Right now, I don't have it. I don't have it right now, but damn it, I'm gonna get it. And every one of you yahoos that I'm related to has nothing to do with holding me back. You're all going to watch it happen. You're all going to choke on it. All of you that sat back and sit there and said, well, you know, Shelly says she's going to be a trader. Yeah, she's going to be trading, all right. Trading her time for money like we do. But in the beginning, that stuff cuts deep. It cuts deep, but you'll put on your best face like I was trying to do it as a 20-year-old. That doesn't bother me. But it crushed me inside. It crushed me. And I didn't take that as I'm going to do it more carefully to make sure I don't fail. The opposite happened. The opposite happened. I dug deep and said, I don't give a shit how many times I fall on my face. I'm going to do it faster, and I'm going to take bigger risks, and I'm going to do it in a stunning manner that absolutely has nothing to do with why I started, because now I got to do it about impressing these people. I got to impress my family, who they weren't even a factor in the beginning. They didn't tell me to, hey, start trading this way. And then I got to make them proud of me. That's not how it happened. My uncle introduced the idea of the trading, but he didn't teach me trading because he didn't know how to trade. And I wasn't interested the first time. I was young. I was a martial artist. I was a young teenager. I was like, man, I ain't got time for this. I got martial arts and girls. You're not here with that, man. Stock market. I ain't trying to invest. What the hell's that? And to be honest with you, I really wasn't working then. So the concept of money was alien to me. I was actually very content and complacent being white trash, because that's exactly how I was raised. If you look at how I live today and how I raised my family and how I was raised, I was the epitome of white trash. I grew up in a neighborhood that was trash with people that were uneducated. The highest graduating average mean was 6th grade. My mother quit school in 6th grade. The only person in my family prior to me that were blood relatives that ever graduated was my aunt. Think about that. That's the pedigree I come from. Yeah, I'm as blue collar as you can get, baby. And I have the same problems that you're going to invite. If you're not careful, you're going to invite all of the opinions of other people that don't fucking matter. You're leaning on these people to encourage you. They didn't give you the idea. They didn't give you the first spark. The whole point of you even considering it, it never stemmed from them. So why on earth would you invite them to give you their opinion when they're working for money, in debt, paycheck to paycheck, hating fucking life, and looking for any exit ramp to get out of the relationship because they hate the person they're married to or living with? And these are the people you're going to on social media too. The worst part is you're not even fucking related to these people. You're not even related to them. You willfully go in there and say, hey, what do you think about this? Who gives a fuck what they think? Who gives a fuck what these people that don't do well or better than you, who gives a shit what they think? And when you take a step back and you think about it like this, you know what? Why the hell am I doing that? Right, that's the question I'm asking. Why are all of you doing that? Because you're hoping, just like I did as a 20-year-old, that everything I was putting myself through or aspiring to be successful in, that my own family, you would think, right? My own family would be like, you know what? Michael, out of everybody in our family, if anybody was ever going to do well in this, it's you, buddy. I can see you doing it. Like, I can literally see you up there doing everything you're claiming you're going to learn how to be able to do. I can see that. That's exciting. Can I learn that too? That's what I wanted to hear. If I would have heard that, I probably would have done so much better in the beginning. I wouldn't have taken ridiculous fucking risks and blew my accounts because I'm trying to show them they're wrong. And the only thing I was doing was proving they were right. Think about it. You're doing the same stuff. Mostly the men. Women might be closeted because they still want to talk to their girlfriends. They want to talk to their closest cousin. Okay? Like my wife, she has a cousin. They say that they were like twins when they were younger. I don't see it because I would have never messed around with the other girl. But that's another discussion another time. But she pals around with her and has conversation more than anybody else in the family. Okay? And women tend to have a very close, they may have a lot of girlfriends, but they have this little clique. That's their pride. Okay? And if you are trying to learn how to trade, or if you just discovered that that's what you want to try to pursue, or maybe you've been doing it, chances are they know what you're trying to do or what you've begun. And anybody else, you don't share your business with them. You keep it personal. You still messed up. You still messed up. Because now, one of two things are going to happen. One, they're going to ask you, hey, how's that trading going? And you want to be able to say, girlfriend, let me just tell you, I got funded. I got paid out 6 fucking times. I got these new shoes. Look at this shit. Earl didn't buy these motherfuckers. I did. I bought that shit. I bought that. I passed my phone account challenge. Bang. 5 accounts linked up. Bang. Look at me, baby. Look at me. Don't you want to be like this? You want to be able to say that. But you're still going through the process of wrestling through the things that you wrestle through. You believe that that day's coming, but you can't give it to them when they ask for a progress report. And that hurts. That hurts because you want to be able to say to your girlfriends, this is what I've done so far. And a true friend, girlfriends, will be like, damn, girl. Wow, I didn't think you'd be that quick with it. But a true friend would hear you say, it's harder than I thought it was going to be, but I'm not discouraged. I see progress. And I know if I keep working at it, I'm going to get what I'm looking for. And a true friend will be like, you know what? That's right, girl. You keep on. And that's what you want to hear. If you have a friend like that, man, you got a real friend. I didn't have friends like that. I had, man, I'll believe when I see it. My wife, still living the way she lives. If I tell her I'm going to do this, 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 and she's like, I'll believe when I see it. I'm like, woman, are you crazy? Did you just see what I just did? Look what you just spent. Where the hell did that come from, right? But I'm sure she means it to be funny and silly all the time, but that's just that's the way we work together. Okay, that's her language with one another. She ribs me and I peacock around. But you're not going to get that encouragement you're looking for on social media. I promise you. You might get it in our community here if you hang around like-minded individuals, which is always called a cult. Okay, call it a cult because this is the cult of winning. I make winners.